So guys, this video is going to be showing you, in my opinion, the best way to review and study price action after market has closed. So during market hours, you can observe real-time price action, you can annotate, you can take trades and things like that. But once the market has closed, and even after hours and weekends, things like that, if you want to review price action as it happens, it's a lot more difficult. So looking at price action like this, so once the day has played out, obviously our hindsight vision is a lot better than our real-time vision. So if I see a chart like this, it's pretty easy for me to find things like tweezer bottoms, bullish candle reversal, pullback, things like that. Those are much easier to see after the chart has already played out because you know what's going to happen. But in order to simulate real-time price action, what we can do is we can use TradingView's replay function. So while we can't simulate the emotions and the pressure that comes with trading real money in real time, we can at least simulate the price action, and then we can work on our actual strategy. We can look at where we're entering, where we're exiting, where we're putting our stop, and how that plays out for us. We can analyze our mistakes in our TA, things like that. So right here I have the SPY 5-minute chart pulled up. This is my favorite chart to trade. You can trade whatever you want. You can still use this method. So I go to my indicators and I'll just add what I like to have to help me trade. So I use my own algorithm. So all-in-one SMT indicator, SMT dashboard, SPY key levels, and then I have my SPY key fibs that I use. So I just throw that on there. I scroll all the way to the top so I can't see any of the price action. And then I just arbitrarily go back several days, and then I just stop randomly, and then we pick that day, and then we trade it without knowing what the price action is going to be. So I'm just going to stop in a couple seconds. So right here, this is the 23rd, Friday, June 23rd. So that was, a little over 3 weeks ago. Obviously, I don't remember what happened that day. So we're going to use this tool, and we have everything to the left of this snipping tool, which is just, the replay function, is going to be shown, and then everything to the right is going to be hidden. So naturally, if we hide everything after pre-market, we have now essentially limited ourselves to only viewing pre-market and the prior day's price action. So this is essentially what you see when you go into an actual real trade, and you're trading throughout the day. You don't know what's going to happen after pre-market, but we have all of this prior data, all that history to use as a reference. So the only things I'm going to change on my SMT indicator is I'm going to turn off my 9 and 21 EMAs because they are implied by the EMA cloud, and then I'm going to enable opening range levels just because I like to use that as a reference. And what I do is I look at the prior day and I grab some levels before the day starts. So the SMT algo, it actually creates automatic support and resistance tags for you, and it gives you the price as well. So I'm just going to go in and add the ones that are automatically generated. 436.02 be right there. And then I add those onto my chart. So let's do that. And those levels have been added. So I think there's one more right here. And you can see that we're kind of already below the low of day of yesterday. So I want to see if I can get some levels on the chart that are below that. I might have to go pretty far back, and I might not get any. Yeah, we got some here. Probably grab that level. Grab this level. Here we go. And now we have some. Now I obviously don't know the validity of these levels because they're several days in the past, but I still like to have them on my chart as a reference. So there we go. Now let's get into the day and let's simulate that price action and trade as if it was in real time. So I'll give you all my entries, my exits, my stop, and my rationale, and this is just an example of how I do this. So, right, pre-market low is respected off the open. Some overhead resistance. We have we have VWAP here, our 21 EMA, and we have this overhead supply zone from yesterday. So we're probably going to trade in here a little bit before we break out in either direction. So I would not chase this downside move because you can see we're right on a key level, as well as pre-market low is right there, and we haven't really gotten a clean close below that, and we still have our opening range support right there. So let's just wait for something else. We're just watching price action really establish for the first half hour of the day, and then we can make our decisions after that. Excuse me. Reversal there. Could not break through this supply zone. Again, we're right at that supply zone, not really a breakout here yet. Okay, so while we did now we closed above our supply zone right here, but still I'm not looking for an entry here because you can see that we still have a bearish EMA cloud, right? We still have kind of like a bearish trend, so I'm not going to chase this move to the upside. I'm just going to wait, and I'm just watching price action play out here. Wow. Oops. So this is some really strong buying pressure off this wick. You can see we went straight down to VWAP, and then we got a huge push up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if we continue a little bit higher, maybe to this key fib level right here. So there we go. We pull back and we find support along this area. We never close below the kind of this demand zone and EMA clouds. We kind of bounce off of them a couple times and make a push to that fib level. Now I'm not trading this, I'm just telling you kind of my predictions for price, and I'm just kind of watching that play out. Okay, this is kind of a bearish reversal pattern. It's actually made a thread about this before. This is kind of like an evening star. We have a bullish engulfing candle, this kind of doji, but it's bearish candle here, and then we have a bearish engulfing. Now this is just for me kind of like throws up a red flag. Hey, we might be pulling back here. Now I'm not going to enter any short position yet because we're still on top of this EMA cloud, so I'm just going to wait until we get a move lower. Okay, so now we've closed below VWAP. We still have this level right here, right? So I'm a little careful. I'm not going to take an entry here because yeah, we had a nice close below VWAP, but we're still sitting on top of this support right here. So I'm going to wait for a little bit more conviction. It is nice to see that we do have a spike in bearish volume on that bearish engulfing candle. Okay, so look at that. So this level was a perfect support, and we ended up reversing. This could be a good opportunity. If we can go back below here, maybe get some sell signals off the algorithm, I would really like a scalp maybe to this area down here. So I'm just going to wait. Again, we're being very patient. There it is. Boom. Alright, so we got our sell signal, right, which is nice to see. We got this nice little increase in volume. We finally closed below the strong support. So now I'm entering my puts here, and I'm looking to take it to this level right here. Now, I'm going to be a little bit conservative, right, because you can see that a ton of buying pressure came up off of there. So I'm actually going to take it to, rather than going all the way down there, I'm just going to take it to the bottom of that prior candle, and that's my target. And I'm going to use VWAP as my stop. And then we get another sell signal, gives me even more validity. That's two sell signals from different time frames. Again, I'm confident in holding this down to this level right here. Boom, and we get out. There we go. So that would have been a trade I would have taken. I used my algo, I used all these different tools. We saw this bearish pattern right here. We waited until we got our good low risk, high reward entry. We got our double time frame. There's actually, I think, 5 and 3 minute sell, then a 2 minute sell. Gave us some extra conviction, and I took it down right to that level. And look at that. Continues all the way lower. I'm a very conservative trader, but maybe you would have held. We hit that target we were talking about. We hit this auto sport target. We hit pre-market low, and we hit this key level. That is a nice move to the downside off of these sell signals all the way down there. So there's the trade. That's one trade for the day. Again, I'm simply watching. It's starting to look bullish now. So you can see why I scalp and I take my profits pretty quickly. So we actually, closed back above this support, right? So if I would have kept holding my puts, maybe we're going to continue down, I would have been burned right here. So I take my scalps, and then I get out when I see strong support resistance. So now we have a breakout above the supply zone again. Would not be surprised if we get a push to this next level right here, but again, I'm not entering. I don't have enough conviction, and we still have a bearish EMA cloud. Here we go. My buy signal. Nice. All right. So we're just going to keep the same thesis, right? So we didn't chase it here, but now we pulled back a little, right? We got some buying pressure off this demand zone, and we got our 3 minute buy signal. So I'm going to look to take this to the next level. Maybe you could hold to the next fib level, but I'm just going to get out at this next overhead resistance. And my stop loss is going to be a close below this zone or the EMAs. So that's my stop. Now this is really nice. This is basically a nice little flag and a close back above. This is good. I like this. Boom. We hit our target. So we exceeded my target. We hit this target, and like we said before, we actually hit this fib level. And we get out, and then it's nice that we got out in time, and our targets are conservative because now we pull back. There's obviously we could continue higher, but we got out at the perfect time there. Key level holds right there. Again, we hit the same resistance level, which pushed us back down to the EMA cloud / key level. but you know, you can still observe we are still in an uptrend. Boom. Okay, that's insane. That's a huge huge push to the upside. You'll notice that volume spike, and this all followed this this buy signal. So pretty cool. We did close above this demand zone, but you know, obviously I'm not chasing a huge move like this. So we took 2 trades for the day. I would normally be done here, so I'm just gonna kind of observe price action. Okay. By the way, you'll see those PR signals flash. That's a potential reversal built into the algorithm. You can see if the candle does not close with that PR signal intact, we ignore it. So this is a pretty big inverted hammer rejection of the 200 EMA, so I would not be surprised if we pulled back even further. There we go. Look at that, 2-day prior demand zone holds up. Retest the 200 again. Still haven't broken through. You can see the 200 is giving us a hard time here. So if we can close above it, I could see a push maybe even up to this supply zone right here, but we still are not able to break through, so we could get a pullback if we keep struggling here. Pullback. Look at where it bounced here, right off that 2-day prior demand and EMA cloud. Do we get a breakout of the 200? Failure again. Alright, there's that breakout. So I would not be surprised if we hit right here, but I'm not taking that trade since we're done for the day. So once we break out above the 200 EMA, you can actually use the 200 EMA as your stop loss. So if you want to enter and look to continue to that supply zone, you can use a close below as your stop there. Oh, so close. Yeah, I would get out right there. Boom, there we go. And then we got out, and then we pulled back right there. So looks like we're getting some potential reversal here. Spike in volume. We did get a sell signal, but it kind of disappeared. But I still do think this is bearish. Let's see where we go. All right, 2-minute sell. Still not. This is not the best for me. So we are pulling back and we are hitting this overhead supply, and we are pretty bearish. But still, I mean, this, you know, this bearish push down, this bullish candle, and then this gives me like a slight pullback. Maybe if we get below this level again and close below it, you can look at taking a short to VWAP, but I'm just kind of waiting through that. Yeah, so you could probably scalp that back down to VWAP. Boom. There you go. So we waited for that close below this level and took a nice scalp to VWAP. And the 10-minute signal goes off, and then the next candle is a huge sell candle. So these sell signals were A+. That's pretty good. I always like to see a small time frame and then a higher time frame. Following that 10-minute signal, we had a huge plummet. So, oh wow. I feel like we're probably at 330-ish. Yeah, I think this is the last candle of the day. So there we go. So now we zoom out and we see. So this is all we looked at here. Got our sell signals, took that scalp down. Got our buy signals, took that scalp up. We got a nice little breakout here after failing the 200 EMA several times. Got a nice push to that overhead supply where we could have taken our profits. And then over here we got these double sell signals. We entered on close below VWAP. I would have scalped it to VWAP, but then, you know, obviously I would have missed this huge move here. But they're following these sell signals. We got that nice push to the downside. So there you go, guys. That's how I review and that's how I practice. And hopefully this video is helpful.